everybody, Miss Habanero Pepper back at you with another book review. First off, I want to say a few things. It's nice to be back on the channel again. I'm finally posting regularly. Yay! Fun! You might notice that I have a bit of a new look, new hair, which is nice, new chair, which is temporary because the other one has clothes in it. It was Saturday and we were doing laundry, obviously. You might also notice I'm not dressed up as I usually am, and that's okay. I was doing a Pink Hand fundraiser today at my school, which is why I'm wearing the orchestra shirt, support your local orchestra. I just want to let you guys know it is okay to not always dress up for everything that you do. Now, I'm not saying that you have to dress in pajamas or your underwear when you're trying to do something important, but I'm saying that you don't have to wear a ball gown or a tuxedo to make a good first impression. Sometimes just coming in with a t-shirt and some jeans and a big smile on your face, ready to do your work, ready to seize the day, that's all it really takes, because spreading a good message is your goal. That's what you want to try and do. So I was originally going to try and do this book review on a book I've been reading recently, Jep, Who Defied Stars. It's really cute. It's kind of set in early Europe. But since this movie that came out recently, Dune, was based on the book my teacher had introduced to me, I decided to do that instead. So this is going to be a book review on Frank Herbert's Dune. First, before I get into the book, let me explain how I got introduced to this book in the first place. So, imagine this, a pandemic later than March 2020 when all this stuff went down. I had started to enter writing contests. I found that one because of what was going on, and I tried to enter it. I was having some trouble with my writing, so I asked my teacher for some advice, and he told me, hey, there's this book I know. The pacing is a little dodgy, but the author has some really good world building, and I think you could learn something from it. And I said, hey, sure. So I found a free version of the book online. Don't ask me how I got it. Again, pandemic, things were difficult. And I looked at it. It was really amazing. I had to finish it in chunks because, again, junior year, you're trying to organize stuff for your senior year since you're applying to college and whatnot. But I really enjoyed the book. I actually had to look over it again before I did this book review because I did change my plans from earlier. So I'm doing this book instead. Anyway, let's start off with Frank Herbert's Dune. I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm just going to start with the beginning of the story. That's what this review today will be focused on. So, let's imagine this. You've just woken up from your bed. You've barely gotten ready for the day. And your mother is asking you to come outside and get ready because you're about to take a test. Some of you are probably freaking out right now at the fact that I said test. Now, you're a little confused. Why are you taking this test? Why is my mother trying to dust me off and get me ready? Why does she look so worried? Now, she doesn't tell us any details. She doesn't tell us what the test is going to be about, how we're going to progress through it, if she even knows anything about it. But maybe she does, because from the way her expression, her mouth pulls tight, her brow is furrowed, we can tell that whatever this test is, it's bad. Bad enough to worry a parent and have her expression be as clear as the nose on your face. So she leads you into this room with this elder woman. Now, your mother is sent outside after a brief conversation, to which the elder replies to her as serving wench. Now, if you're a kid who loves and respects your parents, you're clearly not going to stand for that, which is why you blatantly call her an old woman in a couple of minutes. And then she gives you the test, and you decide, for the honor of your mother, for the honor of your family, that you're going to try and do your best and take it. That is the very first scene that we, the readers, experience with Paul Atreides, heir to the ducal throne. Now, I would like to start off with world building, first of all. Herbert does a really good job with showing us the world and what it's about. He's not stating it explicitly, it's more through the way that the characters interact with each other. And Paul, as the protagonist, his thoughts while he is interacting with other characters. One of the first things that we see is that this is a matriarchal based society in a way, because the test that Paul is supposed to take, typically children don't take that test. It's only the girls. But they make an exception for Paul because, spoiler alert, he's the protagonist. That's usually how it's gonna go down. Another thing that we note is that, and I think this is really cool personally because I'm a bit of a nerd, is that the author has his own lore. Now, again, I'm not going to go too into the details of the book because I want you guys to enjoy it for your first read, but it seems that they have a culture based on expelling fear and pursuing truth. That's kind of what we're seeing in the beginning of the scene. That's what Paul's going through, which I really appreciate because those are important values to have in our society. I'm sorry, it's just a really cool book. I am into the old-fashioned kind of stuff, fantasy and sci-fi and stuff. I read Stephen King's The Dark Tower novels and or stuff similar to that, so that's why this book is kind of cool to me. Second thing would be dialogue, specifically Paul's dialogue and just general writing in general. Again, Herbert does a really good job with this. Now, the pacing is a little bit dodgy. You need to have some patience with this kind of thing because it's like watching old movies. Star Wars, which is probably more durable because that's a popular franchise, and not so popular movies that may be in black and white occasionally, like Pride and Prejudice, which is still popular, but if you're looking at the black and white films, not a lot of people have patience for that kind of stuff when it's not in color, which is kind of sad because the acting back then was also truly phenomenal, but still. Paul is portrayed pretty realistically for a teenager. We don't know the era, what time this would be, if he was basing Paul off somebody or kids from Herbert's time when he was writing the book. But I think it was a really good portrayal. He's just woken up, he's confused, he's reacting that like people like you and me would in that kind of situation if we were in the world of Dune. He's confused, trying to figure out what's going on, and he's also pretty defensive when somebody insults people who are close to him. And that actually leads me into the characterization of Paul as the main character. I really appreciate, again, how Herbert portrays him. Paul is a realistic minor. It's pretty clear that he's not a full-grown adult, since if you were adults, you would try to passively aggressively show your frustration. You know, the way that everybody says girls hate each other, silently, with our eyes, giving stank faces, like this. Yeah, that's not my best stank face, but, you know, it's in the moment that I'm recording this, by all means. I also like how, again, Paul is really defensive of his loved ones. If you insult his mother and call her a serving wench, he's not going to like it. He's going to tell you what's what and that you had better not do it again. I just realized that I just went into all this and I forgot to show you the cover. Yeah, see, that's how busy I am. That's how you know it's been a busy week. Give me a second. Let me do this. This is not the cover of my version of the book that's online, but no, Superpower Booster. But this is what the one on Goodreads looks like, which is pretty stylish as far as I'm concerned. Let me get back to that now. Sorry for not showing you the cover earlier. Busy week, busy week. I really love how Paul is defensive of his loved ones. which kind of leads me into the moral that you can learn from this first scene in the book, and that is conviction, which is kind of similar to the video before because it's standing for what's right, but also loyalty in a way. Standing up for your loved ones. You should stand beside your family. It's important. In this time and age, things can be a little bit difficult. But at least you know if you're standing by someone's side and you're there for them, you know that they'll be there for you right back. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of way, which is really nice. So that's about it for the book review. I'm trying to keep my videos shorter than 15 minutes. I really hope to see you guys next week. The only other thing I could say is I'm trying to plan for a special Halloween edition. I have 3 options of books that I'm trying to do. One of them, well, 1 or 2 of them might sound familiar to you. The Haunting of Hill House, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Washington Irving is a really good writer. I read that all the time. I still read it now. Scream All Night, which is a newer book from the 21st century, but it's based on this family who specializes in making old-fashioned black and white horror movies, which I think is really cool. I don't know how to make posts for surveys in the comments, but I guess I'm going to have to learn because I'm trying to see if I can pick one of those books to review next week. If I do Sleepy Hollow, maybe I will read an excerpt of that before I review it, for all I know. That would be pretty interesting to do. So that should be about it for the video. Again, have a good week, everybody. I hope to see you again. And tune in next week for hopefully a special Halloween edition. Bye!